So, okay, right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on another wonderful episode of Spotlight. Why is it wonderful? Because we have wonderful people on it. We have Sean Michael, we have Tia, we have Zara, and we have Calm, um, who's got the camera problems today, which is understandable. Um, and my name is Cyrus, by the way. My name is Cyrus. I'm the proud creator of Whisperboy and the CEO of WendyJuno.com. So, without any further ado, I'm going to go through the introductions so we can continue our discussion about 10 ways podcasting makes a business owner's job easy and stress free. This is part 2. So, in the last session, we spoke about 5 principles and 5 ways, and tonight we're gonna be talking about the last 5 ways a podcast can serve you and help you if you are a business owner or a CEO of a company. Zara, my business partner and collaborative director of Whisperboy, thank you so much for dedicating your time and your energy to the show once again. And I am grateful for your presence. And thank you so much for the discovery calls you have arranged for in the past few months. And thanks for what you're contributing to when it comes to Whisperboy and the vast operation that we are carrying out. Thanks for joining. And please go ahead, talk to us a little bit about your business and how you've been contributing to the society, and as a successful lady, have you been enjoying it? What have you been experiencing? And please introduce our guests as well. Please go ahead.
My mic is muted. Okay, so hi guys. I'm Zara Camp. I'm the collaborative director for Whisperboy.com. Guys, it's amazing to see you guys here again. We have with us some remarkable individuals. Working as a collaborative director is incredibly fascinating, arranging discovery calls with a lot of you and hearing what you need and about your businesses, where you want to go has been remarkable. I appreciate your time, whether it's 15 minutes or half an hour. Time is vital, especially when you're a founder, a CEO, or you have your own business. So thank you very much, guys. I'm going to pass the mic now on to an individual who is with us, Tia Christina Corbett. Francis, would you like to tell us who you are? No, we can't hear you now, no.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
Okay, so my name's Tia. It is Tia Christina, but Tia's just a lot easier. My business, do you want to know like the background of how I started it or like why I created the business?
Yes, please,
Yes.
please tell us from the
So,
get-go.
so my business started about over a year ago before it was officially registered. Was just I always liked helping people and getting them results that they needed. I've also worked with I work with employability, sorry, so I kind of merged the two sides of helping businesses get results and also helping the younger generation get into the market of getting into business and get into jobs. So that's kind of the background of how I started the business. And then along the way, I've just built loads of connections and helping more businesses and more people get the best results possible. And that's just kind of like what I've done. And then I've met Zara today, and she's been nothing but wonderful. And so is Cyrus to help me build what I'm looking to do with my business in itself. So I do focus on pro recruitment and sourcing, but I also have like an employability aspects attached to my business. So that's kind of like the sectors that I do itself.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Tia, for introducing yourself to us. Is there anything you want to say in relation to, so your business is about providing a service for the community. Do you feel that your business started because there was a purpose and a vision behind it. What is the purpose of why you started your business? Not the purpose in what you do, but why you started it for. For what reason?
I'm a people's people. I really like helping people, have a passion for going the extra mile to get people the results that they want. I'm never here to belittle a person. My job is always to uplift the person. And I felt like in the market, yes, you've got companies that will help you to do your CVs and stuff, but take an extra mile to actually get you past just a CV. How about getting you the job, supporting you when you're in that job? So kind of just staying with you through the whole
Mhm,
steps until you feel comfortable to be on your own and
mhm,
just be a friend along the way. Because sometimes in a company, when you meet someone, you do
mhm,
need that friend. So I can be a friend, I can be a sister, I can be a daughter to whoever comes to me, and we can have a laugh, we can have a joke, we can have a cry, just to
mhm.
make you feel as comfortable as possible.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Tia. I'm going to pass the mic on now to Mr. Sean himself. Hello, Coach. Coach Sean. Who are you? Where are you? What do you do?
So I'm Sean Michael. I go by the title Identity Disruptor and Inner Potential Activator. I was born and bred in the USA and California, but I currently live in Guatemala. And you know how even top tier founders and coaches can start to feel like an imposter the second they ease off the gas. As I said, I'm the Identity Disruptor and Inner Potential Activator. I'm here to help them break the false self-image and step into the upgraded one so their confidence and leadership can finally catch up with their external results.
Perfect. Short and sweet. Thank you very much, Sean. Lastly, we have with us Mr. Calm, the guy with the voice. Mr. Calm, hello. How can we help?
Mr. Calm. Mr. Calm.
Ah, that's what happened. I was muted. Good God. Anyway, I thought that would never happen, but it actually did. Um, hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Calm. It's an amalgamation of my name, Malcolm and Michael, both of which were given to me. One of which was given to me by my mom. The other one was given to me by my dad. Michael was from my dad. Malcolm was from my mom. And I just combined them both to give myself the name Calm. Because I aspire to be calm, completely and utterly calm in everything that I do, and also I want to evoke that in other people as well. So that is me. I basically look for interesting people to um, get get inspired by them and to follow them and eventually at some point to become them. If possible. There are many wonderful people on stage right now, and I have been invited to join, so I'm joining in so that I can listen, hear, understand, and ask questions when I am totally and utterly lost, because sometimes that happens. But in order to ensure that you find your way again, ask the questions so that you can be clarified, and then you'll be back on track. That's who I am for the short term. Back to you, Zara. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Calm. Calm, collected, and always
Cool,
asking
calm, collected.
cool, calm, collected. I'm going to
And
pass this
coordinated.
and coordinated. My apologies.
Coordinated.
So I'm going to pass the mic back to you, Cyrus, to go over the 10 ways podcasting makes a business owner's job easy. So, guys, thank you for being with us this evening, and I will pass the mic on to you, Cyrus, so you can cover the last points we have.
Zara, what would we do without you? You're fantastic. So within Whisperboy, you're not just a collaborator. You're not just a collaborative director. You're an asset. So I was going to say, um, the, the individual and the gentleman you heard a few moments ago who goes by the name Calm. He's the host of his show Calm Down, Hurry Up, and he's a kind of Shawn Michael, but with a different approach, right? So you get Shawn Michael, you can see him at the corner of the screen. So he's an identity disruptor. Basically, he helps you regain or reshape the identity that you need and the mentality and the mindset that you need. Disrupts it first, reshapes it, right, and assembles it back together again. Right, that's what his magic is, right? And he's got his own courses, and the courses that he runs are by design, comprised of small cohorts, small groups of people, and they're like small crash courses, which are run in 6 weeks. So imagine this, 6 weeks before you get to the level that you want to get to. Okay, so his shows are going to be translated into Arabic and other languages soon because of the demand. Yes, Sarah, that's right. Because of the demand that we have noticed, we have sensed in the market, and why not? Let's hear. So we hear about his work in English, so why not in other languages, right? So our approach is, if you don't speak English, please do not worry. We will come to you and we will try to speak yours, right? Because at the end of the day, language is a method of communication, okay? Language is a bridge. It should never turn into a barrier, right? So language is a bridge. It should never be a barrier. Please remember that. So out of the, thank you, Zara, and thank you everybody for sharing with our community who you are, what you do, and what you're on about. So out of the 10 ways podcasting makes a business owner's job easy and stress-free, or should I say makes the stress less, because no business is stress-free. I'm sure you guys all agree. A business can be stressful, okay? And even though you guys all put a really strong mask on and show you know what I mean, Zara, don't you? So you show to your market and your community that you are strong, yes, but we cannot deny the fact that having a family, having a business, having a community is never stress-free. Okay, stress can go up, stress can go down, but a level of stress always exists, and that's how life works. Okay, one of the reasons for progress is stress, right? And number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are done. Let's go to number 6 out of the 10 ways in which podcasting makes a business owner's life easier. Hard to open doors with influencers or partners. Sometimes CEOs and business owners come to us and say, the cold market is really annoying, right? So I sometimes speak to my friends on LinkedIn who come to me and say, my warm market is not buying anything from me. I can't sell to my warm market. And how do you expect me to sell to my cold market? Well, there are ways to go around it. Okay, there are tactics you can use. And one of them is being helpful, which is not, it shouldn't be a tactic. It's a way of life, isn't it? Being helpful. So what I mean is being helpful and being a problem solver. So you shouldn't always get paid for solving problems. Sometimes you solve problem because you're a human being. However, everything that you do in your community, whether it's through reciprocity or karma or whatever you want to call it, you will get paid for it one way or another. Please do not worry, okay? Help your community and your community will help you. elevate your community, and your community will elevate you. I'm sure Tia agrees. I'm sure Sean agrees. Calm agrees, and Zara agrees. Because if you guys weren't helpful, you would not be on this screen. You would not be on this stage. Somebody else would be sat there. But you're sat there. Why is it? Because I've seen every single one of you helping the community in a way. Just to give one example out of you guys, I'm going to give Zara as an example. She's always on a discovery call, right? And so in terms of, so if there was any countries or any continents that hadn't been discovered yet, I'm sure she would be discovering them, but everything has been discovered already. That's why she discovers podcasters. I think it's fair to say, it's more accurate to say she creates podcasters, because I know someone called Fontaine who was not a podcaster up to, I think, 3-4 weeks ago. Now she is a podcaster. Remember, guys, all it takes for a podcaster to become a podcaster is the first episode, isn't it? Right? So just to give you a really awful example, all it takes to be a murderer is killing one person. Right? All it takes for someone to be I don't know, to be a thief is just stealing one item, right? And in podcasting, what you kill is procrastination. And what you steal is people's hearts and minds. That's what you need to do when it comes to podcasting, right? So do not wait for the right moment to arrive. Instead, make right now the correct moment. The correct moment is when you take action. So hard to open doors with influencers or partners. Cold emails and calls often get ignored. That's what CEOs are telling us, right? That's why we wrote these on the screen. Inviting guests onto a podcast opens doors, right? This is using your warm market. So when you bring somebody like Shawn Michael to your show, what do you think is going to happen with that episode? He's going to be publishing it and injecting. Yes, that's going to explode on his socials. And when Shawn Michael goes to Zara's podcast, what do you think is going to happen to him? He's going to be publicized and popularized even more so, more than he already is. On Zara's socials, on Zara's network, what do you think happens to Tia's business when Tia goes on Shawn's podcast? Well, people who didn't know Tia up to that moment get to know her. And they're going to be thinking, oh, hang on a minute. I need to change my business. I need to change my approach in business, right? Or I need to change my job. I have two choices now. One can change my mindset, who is Shawn Michael. And one can have a conversation with me and show me the way, which job is best for me. A successful recruiter, and a hardworking one at that. A successful recruiter, and a recruiter who can consult with me and find the best career path for me, right? For me individually, because my understanding is that Tia's approach is not one size fits all. The one size fits all is a wrong approach, whether it's to gym work or career. Every individual is different. So you need different, individualized or bespoke kind of approach, right? So so for every person who's on this stage, there is a reason. Okay, so these people are helpful, guys. Please approach them. Find them on LinkedIn. Find them on Instagram. Find them on YouTube. Speaking of socials, I'd like to say hello and thank all of our friends watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you guys, you could spend your time anywhere doing anything. Well, you chose to be with us and spend your time here, and we are grateful. Thank you so much for listening to our show. Thanks so much for watching our show. Back to number 6. Inviting guests onto a podcast opens doors. People rarely turn down a chance to showcase their talent. When I asked Tia to come out to the show, she said, I'm not sure. Not in so many words. I'm not sure if I'm ready, but it's here now. So what's the difference between someone who says I'm not ready and I'm still doing it, and someone who says I'm not ready and I can't do it? I'm not saying not being able to do something is a fault or a problem. What I'm saying is, when you feel you're not ready and you're still doing it, that means you belong to our community, right? When you feel you're not ready and you still do something, right? That sets you apart from people doing similar job to yours, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, so please remember, go to other people's podcasts as guests. Invite other people to your podcast as guests. I can see both Sean and Zara are nodding. In 30 seconds, Sean, what do you think about this guest thing and being on people's other people's shows? What kind of mentality does it take to be like Tia and then be like yourself and Zara and Calm? What kind of mentality does it take? Please explain that to us in 1 minute.
Well, first off, I often teach ready is a myth.
Oh, wow.
Because if we're constantly up here trying to get ready, it's not going to happen. Getting ready does not happen by thinking more about it. Taking a small step of action gets us ready. I actually talked about this a lot on my last live event. And as far as having guests, opening doors to partners, influencers, as you've talked about, invitation will beat interruption every day.
So, Sean, please tell me, out of your clients, out of the people that you help on a daily basis, which ones, right? Which ones are easiest to coach in terms of the jobs they've got and the age they've got, the age they are of, and is there any indicator for a person to think a gender, a job, a profession, or age? Does that, I suppose what I'm trying to ask is gender and age and profession, does it affect your mentality in saying to yourself, okay, I'm not ready, but I'm gonna do it anyway? Somebody like Tia, does those factors come into it, or it doesn't?
I believe it does. I find that women tend to be more reserved about getting on an event like this, especially if it means camera on, because they have a lot more to worry about, right? Cyrus, we just put a good shirt and do our hair, and we're camera ready.
Yeah, I understand.
But they've got all these things, that they're concerned about.
Yeah.
And so they tend to be more harder to coax onto camera. You're more likely to hear the "I'm not ready to go on the live show" from.
Well, she still came to the.
She came
to the show.
That's how you get ready. As I said, take action. Take that little baby step. She came. She turned her camera on. She's still smiling. So that might be a nervous smile, but that's okay.
Yeah. There's a lesson in there, right? That's what me and Zara want to see on the show. We want to show people, guys, just come to the show and whatever show you're on, right, just go in front of the camera and do something, right? People need to see you. How can people vote for you if you're not even a candidate, right? Nobody can vote for you if you don't. Yeah, if you're not a candidate, right? So, I know it was difficult for Tia to come to the show on such short notice, but she's on the screen now. Now, So for those of us who are doubtful, we want to be ready to do something, to start a podcast, right? Remember, the lesson that we learned tonight is I'll do it anyway, right? Do what you want to do, the I'll do it anyway style, right? So you're tired, I'll do it anyway, right? You're scared, I'll do it anyway. I'm scared, but I'll do it anyway, right? I've had a long day, but I'll do it anyway, right? Calm is at work. Well, he did it anyway. He still came to the show. And that means something to us as a community, right? So what I'm trying to say is you dictate the circumstances, not the other way around, right? And number 7 that we want to discuss is running out of marketing content. So that's what we are being told. Me and Zara are being told running out of marketing content is a problem. So marketing teams struggle to create material consistently. They run out of ideas, okay? And it's natural. That's why people use ChatGPT to be inspired. That's why people call their mums, like myself. I call my mum, and I say I've run out of ideas, and then she asks me, "Did you have any ideas to begin with?" Okay, that's not helpful. So, and then that conversation, right? That conversation inspires me, right? And I have a conversation with Sean, and I ask Sean, "So what should we do?" And he probably says, "Get a smaller microphone." I don't know. No, he didn't say that. But anyway, just talk to someone when you feel you've run out of ideas. You don't have an idea to create a content with. Talk to someone. Go to ChatGPT and say, "I've run out of ideas." Go to Google and say, "I have run out of ideas." Tell someone you've run out of ideas. Tell yourself, "I have run out of ideas," right? It's not something to be ashamed of, okay? It is something to be proud of. That means your brain's searching for ideas, right? That's something, isn't it? So one podcast episode can be repurposed into clips, blogs, reels, and fueling an entire content pipeline. I'm going to get Zara to explain about this bit. She's going to explain about this bit. Why? She's going to explain. I know who you're going to be talking about.
Yes.
I know. Go on.
Wow. Keith Keller, I appreciate you. So Sean, Tia, and Calm, and Cyrus, I was honored to interview Keith Keller, and it was only an audio episode. So it wasn't an episode, because normally the podcasts that I do are very visual. People get the opportunity to see me, and he wasn't very comfortable. So it was an audio episode, and he repurposed it 10 times. SoundCloud,
Wow.
Substack, Google this, Google that, riddle me a blog, and find Keith Keller. Because if you want your content as audio to be repurposed, find him. But if you want someone to explain to you how to repurpose it visually, you can find myself and Cyrus. Now, I find it remarkable that I can take, I think it was a 25-minute episode. He cut it up, 3 minutes here, 5 minutes here. I was shocked.
He's clever.
Now,
He's
when
clever.
I go to my my SEO, don't know why I say CEO, my SEO onto who is Zara Camp, everything comes up that he's done. Repurpose. A lot of people find it hard to repurpose content, but when you find the right person who knows how, you're more capable of understanding. It's not so difficult. You just have to find the right person. So if you need your content to be repurposed visually, come find me. If you need it to be repurposed auditory in an audio format, find Keith Keller, find me, and find Cyrus. But Keith Keller, thank you so much for mentioning me the other day on your live. I do appreciate you. And thank you for the whole repurposing, because we have got 4 more areas we're repurposing. So I think that was 25 repurposings altogether, Cyrus. 25. 25
Do you think Keith sleeps at all? I don't think he sleeps. He's
in
recently on
Australia.
Substack.
He's in
He's on
Australia.
Substack now.
He's 9 hours behind, right?
Yeah. He's on Substack now. So let's before we go to the next number, let's have a quick conversation with Sean in 30 seconds. Sean, could you please explain to people what Substack is and tell us what they can do with it?
Substack, I think the easiest way to explain it, you could say if you took a pot and you put SoundCloud and YouTube and Meta and Blogger or some other blogging and an email app like Kit or something like that,
Yes.
and you mixed it all up, you'd have Substack.
Oh, wow.
Because on Substack, you can create text-based content, you can create audio-based content, which you can directly upload to Substack. You can upload video, you can embed YouTube in Substack or SoundCloud, other audio sources. And then it has community. So on my Substack page, I post notes regularly, which are short, almost like Twitter or /X or Threads type things. Just a quick thought like, hey, are you struggling with imposter thoughts? I was today too. And you can share your notes and people interact and you can restack it. You can do long form posts. It's very powerful. But unlike social networks like Meta, LinkedIn, etc., you own the list. That's why I said it's like, because when people subscribe and you publish a new article, video, text, or audio, they get an email notification. Hey, Sean posted a new article. They can actually read it right in their email. But they can also go to the Substack webpage or the app and then comment, and then every publication can activate their own private chat, which can be it can be for everybody that subscribes, or it can be just for, say, paid subscribers. That's the other factor. Substack has monetization. So you can build your content and put a paywall. Kind of like Medium, I've seen on Medium, right? You read part of the article and it says join Medium to read the full article.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the blessing of Substack is they make money when you make money. So, of course, they're going to do everything they can to make sure you start to make money.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So, my understanding is that people can create newsletters and get paid for them as well. So, you can get paid by creating your content and asking people to check your content and get just pay you monthly, right? And basically that creates a platform for people to get paid for the blogs they create, for the podcasts they create. And do you think that would be helpful to Tia as well, Sean? Because what Tia does is that she helps people become more employable, and she helps the community to be more active in terms of finding jobs or changing careers. Be more proactive in finding jobs, changing careers. And do you think it will be helpful to her as well?
If she wants to grow her reach, I say definitely.
Yeah. Do you? Thank you.
Because she could share her knowledge and build a community. And like I said, you've got this two-way communication. I'm going to put the spotlight on Zara. Zara is in my community, and I put a message out. Hey, what is it you guys want to see articles about? What do you need to know? And she gave some great suggestions. And a few weeks later, boom, there's her article. I wrote it from my perspective to answer her question. And I had another user who said, well, since I became an entrepreneur and I don't have a boss breathing down my neck, I have trouble staying focused. Can you say something about that? So A few weeks later, boom, article went out about that. So it's a great way to have, like, it's not just one way, like you're just putting content out. You're actually building an. Sorry, I hit the mic button too fast.
Did you say building a network?
Building an interactive community,
Community, yeah.
right? I've had some of my posts or notes, and I've had my readers say, wow, are you in my head? Like, you always seem to publish these right when I need this information. So it's this great two-way communication, and really get a pulse of what your audience wants and needs.
Thank you, Sean. I can never have enough of your insights when it comes to being a disruptor. And as you can see, the style of this show is that we do explain about the ways podcasting can serve people. However, we use our experts' opinions, ideas, and methods in solving people's problems. And speaking of solving problems, Zara, you recently created this method where in which you talk to a person, then the person comes to you and says, well, I'm scared of tech. Well, I have no idea where to start from. How did you come up with that idea of becoming a podcastologist?
I think I had a lot of, because I had a podcast before, I had a lot of people who would say to me, but is it not hard? Now, everything is learnable. If you want something to progress in, you're going to learn how to do it. So if they come to me and they say to me, well, the audio is this, but I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to do that. What I do is I walk them through the steps of, okay, so you may not be able to understand how to use Adobe Audition, or I don't know, for example, Audacity might be a little bit complicated, or you're trying to save this or that. There are so many apps available out there where you can just use AI to clean up your audio. If your visuals are not incredible enough and you just want to do an audio podcast, at least start it. Fontaine, as you know, Cyrus, and I'm sure, Sean, you've met her, and I think maybe you have. When she came onto the episode, she is the loudest, bubbliest person outside, but to actually sit and podcast was very nerve-wracking for her, because imagine you're in your house thinking, what do I talk about? Are they going to listen? And because I walked her through everything, and now she's far more comfortable in what she's doing, the ability to say to someone, you do not need to use fear. What you need to do is just understand that you are going to create something that will give you something beneficial in the future. And I think sitting with our discovery call, our podcasters, and explaining to them, you can do this, you've got this. Because what I do is as you saw, Cyrus, it's Fontaine's podcast. It's her podcast. It's not my podcast. But I'm there sitting next to her, listening to her. Supporting her. So I don't need to speak as much. I just need to be there. And when you give someone the opportunity, to showcase their business, and you're sat near them, it gives them the opportunity and the ability to understand, I'm not alone. I can do this because someone is there. And I think becoming a podcastologist has been a journey where I didn't realize that some people may be loud outside, but when it comes to podcasting, they may feel that their voice is too much. And just standing by their side and saying, your voice is not too much, I've got you, and I'll sit by your side, is better than just saying to them, here you go, do it, because you're there, you're helping them discover their voice. Fontaine now is remarkable. She's excited for a Friday episode. On Friday,
did she send you a card?
Gifts, yes.
Gift as well. She's so fantastic.
A thank you note. I don't know where the card is now, but a thank you note of, she said, Zara, I see you. To have someone say that they see you and they see what you're doing is remarkable. She's more courageous in her business. She's capable
Yeah.
of talking to people about her business and not feeling so afraid anymore. I said to send it to everybody. Send your podcast episode to everybody. Not everybody's going to like you, but the right people will love you and come back. So
Absolutely. So people who don't like you, they don't matter.
yes.
People who matter, they like you, right? So just start your journey. Go start. You have to start from somewhere, right? So start from somewhere, please. Okay. So I'm gonna ask Tia the next question. So Tia, normally your day includes talking to people who want to change a career or find a career, right? So
Yeah.
one of the challenges that Zara's clients and my clients are facing is, and perhaps Sean's clients are facing, is that fear that change brings with itself, right? So I always tell my clients that fear is false evidence appearing real. FEAR, right? False evidence appearing real. So in reality, you shouldn't be scared of sitting down in front of a camera or in front of a microphone, right? So all you need is just a microphone. It could be a microphone, like a fancy microphone, like Zara's microphone, or it could be a stupidly oversized microphone like mine, right? It doesn't really matter. Or it could be a nice microphone like Sean's. So anyway, so joking aside.
Oh.
Oh, Sean.
Or it could just be your phone.
Absolutely.
Most smartphones have really high quality mics now.
Yep, absolutely. Good microphones, good speakers, and enough power to process. You can use apps to record yourself. So what is your message, Tia, to people who want to switch away from the ordinary work and get into podcasting, or do podcasting alongside their normal career, but at the same time fear stops them, right? So what is your message to them? How would you what is your message to them, really?
I think for me, just go for it. Like today was like a massive change for me. I don't ever do podcasts. I don't mind jumping on Teams calls, but like being live was like a fear within it myself. And Cyrus was like, just come on, just do it. And I was like, okay. I sat there and I was like, the only way I'm gonna get my business out there about what I do and who I am as a person is I'm gonna have to do it. So don't get me wrong, I'm nervous being here, but I'd always smile through it and I'd get through it. And then by the end of it, I'm like, you know what, I've smashed it. I've took my first step. So that's all it is taking baby steps to get to the next point. And once you get to that point, you're like, okay, I can overcome this. I can do this. And it's all about empowering each other, whether you're male or female. Someone can teach you something that you would never thought you would have done before. And that's what I love about this show. Like it's showing me that, you know what, take the step. Someone's got to push you, but you know what, we're going to hold your hand and we're going to get there. We're going to get through it together. So I'm really grateful for Cyrus pushing me to be here, because I'm really nervous, but I'm okay at the same time.
You don't regret it, do you?
No, I said to my partner I'd come back.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Guys, if you feel like you're someone who's scared of such a change and becoming a podcaster, look at this guy, look at this girl, right? And look at us, okay? So we are ordinary people like you, right? We wanted to do extraordinary things, and when you become a podcaster, that will become your superpower, right? You will be capable of doing extraordinary things. It's in you. You just don't know about it yet, right? Just start. Use a phone. You don't have to be a broadcaster. You don't have to be a professional broadcaster. All you need to do is just be yourself, really, and create something that changes your society. We all know something we are passionate about, right? As an example, when Zara goes in front of the microphone and camera, she says, all right, guys, let's get to know you. And then the guest speaks about whatever they want to speak about, right? And even though Tia is not a podcaster yet, she sits in front of the client and says, what is it you want to do? No, what is it that you really want to do, right? So has a proper in-depth conversation with a client and understands them first, then helps them change their career. Someone like Shawn Michaels sits down with people and says, all right, so I'm not here to BS you, right? I'm not here for you to BS me. I'm here to disrupt what is happening in your head, right? And if it's stopping you, which clearly is, otherwise you wouldn't be my client. I think that's Shawn's mentality, right? It's something that's slowing you down or stopping you, right? Talk to me and tell me, what is it that you think or what is it that you need? And then through his 6-week course, or perhaps through one session, he understands what they need and they get to change it in those 6 weeks. So definitely Google Shawn Michael, the identity disruptor. Before we go back to Shawn to explain a little bit further about the courses, I'm going to go to the next point, guys. Point number 8. Competitors. This is what CEOs are telling us, right? This is what they complain about, and we're going to then explain how a podcast can solve that problem. So CEOs and business directors are saying to us, competitors grab customers with discounts and loud ads. Well, it can happen, but there's 8 billion people on the planet, right? Nobody is out there to put to take food off your table, right? People aren't there to get you. People just out there to make money and provide for the families and build a future, right? The biggest competitor in any business is becoming irrelevant. Remember that. The biggest competitor in a business is becoming irrelevant. Okay? Your next door neighbor sells the same item as you. Fine, it's okay. They are normalizing consumption of the same product. Use that to your advantage, right? So if I'm selling mobile phones and Shawn's selling mobile phones and we are neighbors, we're sharing the market. That's what Apple and Samsung are doing. They are both selling mobile phones, right? And I don't think just because Apple has the bigger share of the market, I don't think Samsung is sat down in one corner crying. No, they are crying into cereal in the morning. No, they're not. They don't do that. They are also magnificently making progress in their market. Okay, and so a podcast makes the CEO the trusted voice of value, moving competition away from price wars towards authority and trust. So basically what this means is when you become a podcaster or when you hire a podcasting team to become the voice of your business, you will get them to, you will make your business more prominent and you become a trusted voice. That's what Zara does. So when you look at people's revenue, Zara, have you noticed any improvement in their sales? In the clients that you're working with?
No, I have indeed. I've seen since we have produced the podcasters that we have. We have a few
Yeah.
more that are coming up soon. But since we introduced Fontaine into the market, her confidence in her own business has increased. So, yes, I've seen an increase. That's why we got a lot of free things. So we got, I don't know if you got anything, Cyrus. Anyways, so
I
we
haven't
got
received it
things
yet.
like
No.
necklaces, things to do with African spirituality, I guess. But it was just a thank you, because sometimes as a podcaster, when you start to podcast, you find your confidence in your ability because you become your own brand. So yes, there's been a huge increase. Starts off by little bits because Fontaine's only been doing this for 3 weeks, but the increase in the amount of listeners that she has, the increase, I know it's not good to focus on the analytics of Spotify, but when you are a new podcaster, that's the only thing you think about. How many comments did I get? How many people viewed me? I'm more concerned with who has gone to your website and bought something from you, not how many people have listened, but the quality of listeners that actually go out and make a purchase.
So if you were to choose between number of sales or number of followers, surely you would go for number of sales, because the purpose of a podcast is to create the purpose of a podcast is to turn a cold market into a warm market. Why is it? How is it that podcast is capable of doing that? Your voice heats the market up, right? Your voice heats the market up, and that is how, because your voice is warm and people receive it into their hearts and minds, right? And they welcome it. And you are between their ears and their head. They put headphones on, they listen to you when they're running, when they're on a treadmill, when they're in the gym, when they're on a lunch break, lunch break, or when they're shopping. Okay, I listened to I have a lot of podcast friends who are podcasters. I listen to them when I'm shopping, right? So I receive value from them, and then I come to the show and talk about them, right? So please always remember, you are adding value. When you add value, people, the value you're adding to the community turns into respect and brownie points, right? So for your business and for your career as a podcaster. Thank you, Zara, by the way. Number 9, one of the things that grinds CEOs, that really annoys CEOs and grinds their gear, is lack of real customer insights. Reports don't reveal what customers feel. So echoing what Zara was explaining about, when you look at your stats, you do not see how your customers feel. Although one of the things that can tell you how they feel is how long of that podcast they listen to before they drop out, before they bounce, right? So the bounce rate is really important in a podcast. So you need to get that right. So your podcast should always be solving a problem. So
It's messing up, sorry.
So please go ahead. Restart.
You're moving it on to me. Okay, Tia, let me give you the floor. So, Tia, in relation to point 9, the lack of real customer insight, can you tell us, in your industry, how does this affect the service? How does it affect the lack of real customer insight? When you give somebody a survey and they fill it in silly-nilly, however, how does it affect the future sales or your future customers in terms
I think
of
if people are not honest with me, then I'm not able to help them. And it's the same with my team. Like if they feel like we haven't done a certain thing that they were asking, then you need to be honest and just say, okay, you know what, the service wasn't for me. And we'll be like, okay, why was it not for you? What could we change? So we're always happy to take ideas and tweak and change but we're never going to change our business and who we are as a team. But we can tweak the way maybe we've approached the situation. And we're very honest with a lot of people, as in, like, if they come to us and say, okay, can you do our CV? Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're going to get you the job. We do work with some employers. So, yes, we can probably reach out to an employer on your behalf, but we can't promise you that you're going to get the job. You still got to do the work. So, it's always just about you communicating with us and being honest, and we will do the exact same. So, if you're going to fill out a survey and just put any boxes, then you need to be responsible for the results that you get back from it. So, just like I say, always just be honest, just be open. And we're not going to bite your head off. We'd always smile, we'll have a laugh, like it's fine.
No, thank you very much, Tia. Normally, Cyrus does this where his Cyrus, is it working now? Sean, do you have anything to add on? So, guys, today we're listening, well, you guys are listening to 10 ways podcasting makes a business owner's job easy and stress-free. We're on point 9. Sean, the same question is for you. I would like to see your insight in what you do.
So I would say that reports, like sales reports or lead reports, even surveys, they give data, but there's often, like you were just talking about with Tia, if they're not honest, there's no depth. Oh yeah, it was great. But podcast, you're actually getting the opportunity to spark a conversation, inviting feedback, offering unfiltered access, right? And actually hearing, like I was talking about with my Substack, actually hearing what people want to hear and see.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, thank you so much. We were on. Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Tia, and Zara. Thank you again. What would we do without you, Zara? I hope the audio quality is better, and I do apologize, guys. Sometimes when you're dealing with StreamYard, unexpected stuff is to be expected. So anyway, number 9, lack of real customer insights. So Zara, myself, Sean, and Tia, we talked about this number 9, lack of real customer insight. If you don't understand your market will not value you. Remember this. If you want to write it down, write it down. I'm not asking you to get a tattoo, right? Just write it down, and it will. Yeah, absolutely. It will be helpful to you, okay, and to your business. It helps your business survive and thrive. How does your business survive and thrive? Just get people to see that you care about them, really. We set aside 1 hour a day, more or less, and we sometimes over an hour. It's nearly an hour, and we add value to people. We sit around this table and we talk and add value. We don't just talk. We add value to people's lives and businesses, right? So people understand that. People value that. Remember, the most intelligent beings on the planet are your customers, right? So people understand your intentions, and people understand why you are in the market, and they can sense before you open your mouth. They sense what is it you're on about and what is it you're about, right? So always respect them. As a business person, as a CEO, as a director, don't lie to your market, please, because your market, it's not a good strategy. It will backfire. Okay, respect them. Respect your business. Respect your business enough to not lie to your customers. Right? Be honest with them. Tell them the truth. And once you tell them the truth, you will become famous as a person who tells the truth in the market. Okay, and you're really, really straightforward with them. So remember, real feedback should be taken on board. What's the point of feedback if you don't take it on board? Podcasts spark feedback, comments, and conversations, providing direct marketing insights. The best insight for a market, for a business, the best insight for a business is satisfaction levels. And before we move to number 10, which is the last one, I saw something that Sean just posted, and I loved it. He said, my first episodes, so he's talking about his podcast here. My first episodes were laughable, but I have grown and found my voice by podcasting. I had this. Oh, Sean also mentioned my power went out. I'm running on battery and hotspot. So, oh, Sean just came back. Is everything all right now, Sean? Your power has gone out?
The power's out, and then my son was trying to connect to my hotspot, and he turned it off.
What's your son's name?
In English, we say Angel,
Angel.
but his
Please
actual
don't.
name is Angel.
Angel.
Angel,
I
please
knew
stop
that.
messing
I
with
knew
daddy's
that.
hotspot.
I had a feeling it would be Angel.
Angel, please stop messing with daddy's hotspot. I'm joking. So, now we're gonna go to. Oh, by the way, Sean, the worst podcast episode, an awful podcast episode, is the one you never make. The ones you make can never be laughable, right? The ones you make, they are helpful because at the end of the day, you were a coach, you are a coach, and and we as a community we value you, and I cannot wait to see the day when your content is translated into other languages as well, because that's the I have heard your work, and people who have been watching us for an hour, over an hour, they have seen the value you can add, and you do add to our community. I'm not sure if Calm can hear us. I'm great. You can hear us, yeah. Have you been listening to the show, Calm, or are you have you been at work, or
I've been doing both.
both? Yeah. So in 30 seconds, what is your what's the summary? So what's the summary of the show for you up to this point? Tia, I'm glad you you managed to resolve the issue. Tia is our new guest, and that we are grateful for her presence. Guys, if you just joined us, we are also blessed with the presence of our collaborative director, Zara Camp. Hello, Zara. And we are lucky enough to have Sean Michael, and I am proud to present to you Calm, is the host of let me show that on the screen so you can see it for yourselves. He's the host of Calm Down, Hurry Up. So, Calm, so what is your take so far, and how would you summarize the show up to this point? What stood out for you up to this moment?
Well, what stood out to me, there were several things that stood up, but majority of what you said initially at the very beginning, and that was in regards to language. And language, how it opens doors that are initially shut. You know, in a person's mind, um, people tend to ignore you if they cannot communicate with you, and they tend to just go on with their own lives. But it doesn't mean that they don't have the curiosity of communicating with you. They do. They see that you're foreign, but they back off because they think that the language barrier, there's a language barrier, and it's just going to be, awkward just talking to you. But if you can communicate with them in their own language, um, and you make an effort, you're basically showing that you're making effort, and you're making not only just an effort, but you're also interested in talking to them because you are using their own language too, even if it's broken. You're still making that effort. That puts a smile on their face. It's a wonderful feeling when you um, get to a person and they get their guard down, you know, as they're maybe in the middle of a conversation doing something that they want to be doing, but then they look at you and then they actually their face actually becomes some sort of a face of interest in, oh, you're actually talking to me in my own language, really? is this really happening to me? Yeah, it's happening. And they tend to be curious, and it's also a very useful business acumen, um, because it allows you to convey your ideas succinctly. If there's confusion, you eliminate the confusion because you're speaking in their language. They are inherently curious people, especially when language is not a barrier for them. They'll definitely be very curious and want to learn actively. They're actively learning. Everybody is actively learning, but that's what they want to do. They want to actively learn and figure out, what can I exchange with this person? You know, since he's communicating with me in my own language, there's a lot of things I want to say. There's a lot of things he may want to hear. Stuff like that. Just opens doors. There are lots of things that go on in a person's mind. There are many corridors that have many doors, and the opportunity to open them is language. Have the key, and it's called language. And you just slide the key in, open it up, and voila, you're in the room, and you can have a lovely conversation with anybody that you meet. The attention is on you or upon you, so make good use of introducing yourself the way you see yourself, because you don't want other people introducing you the way they see you. No, you don't want that. It could be a false presentation. So definitely learn the language and ensure that you understand them. That's pretty much what I've got to say about the show. It's been has otherwise been excellent in different other areas, which I'm not an expert on, but I'm still learning and still understanding uh, what um, what other aspects there are to podcasting that can be useful in different areas. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Calm. You are certainly an expert in capturing people's imagination and hearts and minds.
Thank you very much.
So,
Learn from the best.
oh, you are amazing. Thank you so much. So, just to echo what Calm was referring to, so he was referring to the fact that we are translating the episodes into other language. I'm going to give you one example. Okay, this is one of my favorites. It's one of our episodes. Zara knows this one. So this is one of our episodes.
سايرس لما نتكلم عربي صح اللي سويته قبل ها وب علي اوكي go on.
So have a look at this, guys.
يعني كلما زادت الكلمات اللي أضعها على الشاشة قل عدد الأشخاص اللي سيستمعون. عندما تفكر في صورة تجذب الناس استخدم صورة تحتوي على تعاطف. استخدم صورة مرحبا ليزا. استخدم صورة تعرف أنها ستجذب المشاعر. الكثير من الناس يتواصلون بسبب العديد من البلدان التي ستتساءل.
شكرا جزيلا لانضمامك إلى عرضنا. إنه لشرف لنا أن نخدمك. حسنا، اليوم نتحدث عن عامل مهم وهو عامل النجاح في حياة الناس في البودكاست. لذا 10 طرق يمكن للبودكاست التجاري أن يتواصل عاطفيا مع المستمعين إذا كنت
همم
تواجه صعوبة. إذا كنت تواجه صعوبة في
So this was basically one example of how translating an episode can be helpful to a podcast, right? So we get a lot of feedback regarding the episodes that we are doing, and we get a lot of feedback regarding the translation of the episodes. People who speak Arabic are telling us that the translation is to their liking. Basically, they appreciate it, they like it. They ask Zara for the links. Zara, can you please tell our audience what the feedback has been so far, and how do people feel about it? Family, your friends, what are they telling you?
the feedback has been the dialect of Arabic spoken. Now, everyone understands that Arabic has a lot of, Arabic is a very, not classist in a bad way, but there are so many different types of dialects. So we have Emirati Arabic, we have Sudanese Arabic, we have Algerian Arabic, Libyan Arabic, and so on. The majority of listeners that we have are listeners who are in the Gulf. And they have asked, Zara, you speak Arabic, but how many dialects do you understand? Because when the podcast is dubbed, it's not just dubbing it to translate it, I guess, but it's dubbed in a point where I can understand exactly what is being said. And the feedback we've been having has been because the majority of people understand that I understand Arabic, I write Arabic. So it's more standardized. It's more related to the Gulf, I guess. So the majority of, when we have listeners to this podcast who are Arabs, they will wonder if Cyrus speaks Arabic. And it's always, does he speak Arabic? Because when I say I do, they're a little bit shocked. So yes, Cyrus, that's the feedback we've been getting. Apparently you're an Arab now. Well, an Arabic speaker. If I did it in Spanish, it would be fine. But, oh well, never mind. Sean, you should do it in Spanish.
Unfortunately, I don't. I am not able to speak Arabic. I understand the language a little bit. However, I don't speak the language. But thanks to our hardworking team who dub the episodes and do a really good quality control on the episodes, we have been able to present the shows to our lovely Arabic speaking friends around the world, not just Gulf states, around the world really, and that makes my heart happy. That makes me happy when I find out your friends ask for the link to the show. Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can find us on YouTube by searching Whisperboy Official, if I'm not mistaken. So Whisperboy Official is the or you can just put down whisperboy.com on YouTube. Now you can find us under the handle Whisperboy on Substack as well. Now I just wanted to ask Tia if she's got any closing comments, and also if she could please tell people how they can find her.
I'm still here.
On her socials.
I have no closing comments apart from I'm really grateful to be here today, and it's really been lovely to meet all of yours and learn a bit more about what everyone does and their businesses. So it's been really great to just jump on. As much as I'm nervous, I'll do it again and again until I'm comfortable and happy. If anybody wants to find me, you can find me on LinkedIn, which you can, my actual name, which is Tia Christina Corbett Francis, or you can find my business page, which is Connect Direct Solutions. I'm always around.
Connect Direct
really.
Solutions.
Yeah.
Is it .com? Is it .co.uk?
It's so if you're looking for my LinkedIn, you'll find me a lot quicker.
Yes. Oh, okay. That's fine. So thank you so much for being on our show, Tia. And thanks for the great insights that you have added so far. So we're going to go to the last point and bring the show to an end. So number 10 out of the 10 ways podcasting makes a business owner's job easy and stress-free. Number 10 is sales pipeline feels stagnant. It feels like it's not moving, right? So every company has a sales pipeline. So that means they have a priority list of businesses that they want to sell their products to, or customers they want to sell their products to, right? Potential customers are on a list, and that's their pipeline. Sales push hard, but conversions stay low. So people in these companies who are struggling, and they need podcasts, by the way, they tell us we do try. So it's not because of lack of effort, right? We do try. However, we're not converting a lot of our leads. So podcasts build trust. We already established that, right? Podcasts create trust between you and your audience. Podcasts increase the temperature in the market, right? They raise the temperature. They turn your cold market into your warm market, okay? So podcasts build trust, solve pain points, and warm leads, making sales easier. So if I know someone, as an example, Sean, if I know Sean, which I do, and I go to him and say, Sean, can you please come to one of our events and speak for 25 minutes for us? Oh, okay, Cyrus, what am I supposed to talk about? Okay, I don't want you to talk about something you don't know. I want you to do us a favor and talk about one of your principles. As an example, Sean discussed knowledge, strategy, identity, and action on the last episode, which you can see on the screen right now, right? So at the bottom of the screen, you can see that knowledge, strategy, identity, and action. He's capable of talking about this for 25 minutes, and he's capable of talking about this for 25 days, right? So because yes, that's true. Because I know him, he will do me that favor, right? And when he needs me, I will return the favor. So he is right now, he is amongst my warm market, right? So we barter. Sometimes we buy things from each other if need be. Sometimes we help each other with our assets. Sometimes we help each other with our resources. So, and sometimes we help each other with traffic, because when he comes to my show, when I go to his show, we are exchanging traffic, because my fans, then I'm going to, so when I go to his show and when he comes to my show, then we're going to share the show, right, on our socials. So that means he's going to use my followers, and I'm going to use his followers. When I say use, I mean I'm going to use the eyeballs that actually are watching me on his socials, and the other way around. He's going to be using the eyeballs that are watching my show, right? So we're helping each other. Now, back to number 10. Podcasting builds trust. Okay, so you can rely on a podcast as a tool that turns your cold market into a warm market. There's nothing worse than a cold market. However, if you can turn it into your warm leads, your warm market, that would be your best asset, because you have created trust by just talking to people, right? So we talked about 10 ways podcasting makes a business owner's job easy. Number 1, podcasts let CEOs share their insights and stories, position them as a trusted source for trusted thought leaders. Number 2, brands feel cold or distant. That was a complaint that CEOs made, and then we explained that CEO's voice on a podcast humanizes the brand. That was number 2. Number 3, limited visibility is something that every CEO moans about and complains about. So podcasts distribute globally on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. So you shouldn't worry about limited visibility if you're doing number 3, right? You are creating a podcast that gives you more visibility. Number 4, poor online search performance. So the solution is podcast episodes create keyword-rich content. So another benefit of becoming a podcaster or creating a podcast for your business. Number 5, was weak customers engagement, weak customer engagement. So podcasts build intimacy. So that weak engagement turns into stronger kind of engagement because you're on a podcast and people come and interact with you. It's not just a website where people watch something and then go away and purchase nothing from you, right? So number 6, hard to open doors with influencers or partners, right? So inviting guests onto a podcast opens doors. So if you're worried about doors not opening, create a podcast and then invite people on it, or go to other people's podcasts as a guest, and that solves problem number 6. Number 7, running out of marketing content, right? So one podcast episode can be repurposed into different clips, blogs, reels, and other content formats, something that Zara explained about earlier, and I'm grateful for that. Number 8, competitors grab customers with discounts and other tactics. So if you create a competition, if you create a podcast, you will be moving from competition towards authority, trust, and collaboration. So as an example, Tia helps the market improve their career. Sean helps the market. One of the things that he helps market with is changing career. But these two individuals are not competitors; they are collaborators, right? So the market in 2025 is very different to market in the 1960s. Back then, or 1950s or whatever, right? Back then, the mentality and the mindset was the survival of the fittest, right? It was proper wild west. But right now, people have figured out how the market operates. They create meaningful collaborative efforts, right? Meaningful collaborations. So number 8, remember, competitors do not grab your customers with discounts. You sometimes become irrelevant in the market by not understanding the market's feelings. That's the biggest competitor that you need to be careful with. Number 9, lack of real customer insights. So reports don't reveal what customers feel. That's absolutely right. This is how many businesses miss the trick, and they don't understand the market. That's how they become irrelevant, right? Look what happened to Kodak, right? And one example that you mentioned, Sean, what was it?
Well, as you were speaking, Blockbuster, BlackBerry.
Yeah.
They both dug their heels in, like, you know, the competition. Nobody's going to go for the competition. And where are they both?
Yeah, they didn't understand the market's feelings. Okay, so what you need to do is just always go to different forums, run surveys, and ask questions. Okay, stay curious and ask questions, and people will tell you. Trust me. And remember, when it comes to branding, your branding is what people don't say in your face, and that is painful to watch. Okay, I see what's happening to brands because that's what I do. My new book called Branding will come out hopefully by Christmas time. So number 10, sales pipeline feels stagnant. It feels like the leads that are given to a sales department, they're not converting them into sales really. So creating a podcast can solve that problem. If you really love your sales department, create a podcast for them or get them to create a podcast themselves. Okay. Nobody can create a better podcast than your sales department because they know the problems, they know the pain points, they know how to pitch. Get them to create a podcast episode for you. Start from one, come to someone like Zara, sit down with someone like Sean. They will tell you how it feels to listen to that episode. And then they tell you what parts need to change, what parts will perform well, and what parts need to be popularized and shared with your market. So remember, if you understand what the market is feeling, you will be a more successful director or CEO. So I'm sorry, in this episode, I got the word SEO and CEO confused a lot. So, and remember, a company can survive without an CEO, but the company will not survive without SEO, search engine optimization, right? So, but that doesn't take away any of the value that a good CEO can bring to a business, right? A chief executive officer or a CEO or a director can sometimes turn a business around, right? Can turn it around properly, right? So why I said exaggeratingly earlier about SEO and CEO is to show you the importance of SEO, search engine optimization. Try to get it right, please, because what's the point of being fantastic without being seen, right? So, any closing comments, guys? Sean.
So I would say this: at the end of the day, our greatest business asset is not our product, our services, our pipeline, or our pitch. It's the story that you embody. If you own that frame and stop chasing all the opportunities, they'll start chasing you.
Thank you so much. Our fantastic collaborative director and one of the hardest working podcasters that I know, Zara. How do you feel about this episode? And any closing comments, please?
Be a podcaster that creates a movement. Be a podcaster that understands your purpose, and be a podcaster that gives people a voice. So remember, podcasting is not about yourself. It is about helping others understand to find their own voice through whichever direction they choose. So if you are thinking of podcasting and you have a brand that you need to repurpose, find myself and Cyrus. But that's about it, Cyrus. I have nothing more to say. I think I speak a lot anyway. So yes, the mic is yours.
No, you don't speak too much.
I podcast, yes I do. Yes, I do. I podcast, yes I do. On here, I don't speak as much.
Well, you add value, and I think we need more people like you to speak. People like Sean, people like Tia and Calm. And I always tell my friends and family that if people spoke only about what they understood, the world would turn into a calm and quiet place. So, there is one thing that I'm going to close on. I'm going to share something with you guys that really got my goat today. Okay, so let me show you what I found.
Is it scary, Cyrus?
No, it's not. Yes, it is scary. Yes, unfortunately, it is. Right. It's a tiny bit heartbreaking, right? But okay. So whilst I'm loading that, I just wanted to say we are currently living in the post AI world, right? So we can see AI is coming at us hard and fast, right? The question is, what are we doing about it? Right? What is it that we are doing about it? Are we adapting? Or have we put our heads in the sand? We refuse to see the changes that are happening, right? So some people come to us and say they are scared of the speed at which AI is coming at the market, right? A lot of people are losing their jobs, obviously, and a lot of people, a lot of other people are pivoting, tiny bit, changing their direction, and a lot of people are integrating AI into their business, and which is not a bad thing necessarily. However, we need to remember that get the changes that we're applying should not result in getting rid of people, right? So, if the changes that you're applying results in people going out of business, right? If you can, if you can go without that change, please make sure you prioritize people. Do not prioritize AI. Okay, so okay, I'm going to show you a short clip here. Right. This one. Yes, it must be that one. Yeah, I'm very sorry, guys, for the delay. No, that's not the one. So we'll probably see, we'll probably find the episode later. I couldn't find it on this one. I saw it earlier on Instagram. So there was this machine near one of the branches of Taco Bell, near one of the restaurants, and a few feet away from the actual drive-through, there was a small stand, which was armed with a robotic arm, and you would pay. The food would get dropped at the bottom of a tube, and the door of the container would open. The side door or lid would open, and you would get the food and go away with the food, right? So that means there is a major shift in the market, and people are using artificial intelligence, and the market is moving towards getting rid of low skill employees. That is painful to watch, to be honest. And if you work for something like McDonald's or working for Taco Bell, or if your job is something that is highly manual, right? Please consider creating a business online, something like a podcast, before the change, before that tsunami comes and gets rid of your job position, because employees are always trying to save on their biggest bill, which is staffing, right? So it's painful, but it's a fact. Okay. Our job is mostly working with businesses, so we are B2B, business to business. However, we belong to the same community. People, our friends, our family, are humans. Even though we are dealing with businesses directly, but we have feelings. We are humans, so we should take good care of our fellow human beings. So, artificial intelligence is coming. It has already come. If you haven't skilled up yet, this is the right time for it, guys. Okay, please try to equip yourself with the knowledge and the necessary tools before your job is made redundant, before your job position gets redundant. When the job position gets redundant, obviously the people doing that job will be made redundant, right? So if what you do, and it doesn't necessarily mean it is a low skill job position, it could be anything. Just do a research and find out if within the next 3 to 5 years your position is going to be made redundant by AI or not. Okay, so if your job position is going to be killed off by AI or not. If the answer is yes, it is silly to wait for the change to come and wipe off your job position, right? So please don't wait for it. It's already here. So that's so I wanted to close on that point, guys. Okay, I couldn't find the video. I'm sorry, but you can search it yourself on Instagram or on YouTube and find out for yourself. And if you're not using artificial intelligence in your business, if you're a CEO of a company or a director, and you feel like you don't need it, I hear it from people. Oh, we don't need it now. We don't need artificial intelligence yet. The answer is yes, you do. If you're still asking yourself, do I need it? The answer is yes, you do, because the whole world is moving that way. You do not want to be left behind. Otherwise, your business gets wiped out, right? And definitely create a podcast for your business, because that creates more opportunities. And remember, your business deserves to sell. Your business is your source of income, right? And try to use your assets, okay? And you will lose what you don't use, okay? So thank you so much for listening to another wonderful episode of Spotlight. We had the pleasure of having Zara, Sean Michael, so Zara Camp, Sean Michael, and myself, Cyrus, and I was lucky enough to be amongst you guys. We had the pleasure of having Tia, Christina Corbett, Francis, and we also had the pleasure of being under the same roof as Calm. So Calm was at work and he couldn't stay with us, but he still joined us, and I'm grateful for that, guys. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, take good care of yourself.